Hey guys, we're back. So I thought just for the fun of it, we'd try something different. Um, I haven't played Kerbal Space Program in several years. It used to be my favorite go-to game for a long time. For a 10-plus-year-old game at this point, it's still pretty fun. I just haven't played it. So I thought we'd go ahead and get back to it maybe and, give it a little bit of a playthrough and fool around a little bit. So let's start a new game. Now, the last time I played, they had just come out with this career mode. It used to be just sandbox, and then science was regular mode where you had to uh, gather science from different places in order to do research. And they had just come into this career mode. I tried it for a little while, and I didn't really follow through with it. But what it basically is not only do you have to manage your science, but you have to also manage your money. And you take contracts, and that's how you get money to build up things. Um, for the fun of it, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to try the career mode. Um, for just me playing, I may just go back to like sandbox or science, but we'll see. But let's go ahead and start a new game. Oh, why is that? Okay. There we go. And what are we going to pick for a flag here? I think we're going to do Kerbidine um, in deference to one of my more favorite movies, Buckaroo Banzai, and where they had Yo-Yo-Dine. So we're going to do Kerbidine, and we're going to do career, and let's go ahead and get started. See how this goes. See if we can't blow up some rockets. All right, so you start out with a basic space center. Nothing's been improved or anything else. Uh, we've got Gene Kerman over here. I guess that's a nod to Gene Kranz, who was a flight director for a long time, including Apollo 13. Uh, so this is your space center. Tells you how to move around. Uh, Good to go. All right, so we can zoom in here. And what do we got? We got various buildings here. This is, as you can see, the sections light up. So we got the administrative building, and that's where all of your finances are kind of your strategies are done, um, and your science and your public relations and things like that. We'll get into that in a little bit, I think. You've got your research and development, which is your tech tree. Now, we don't have any science right now, so we can't really research anything, but this is where you get all your additional parts from. We have tracking station, which any objects that are out there and floating around, we can look at them. We can look at the various planets. So Minmus, Mun, Kerbin itself. We can look at the different launch sites. They have a desert launch site now, an island airfield, which I think they've always had. It looks like it's in a different place than where it was. And we have the Kerbin launch site itself. And then we've got our launch pad, which has not been upgraded. There's nothing sitting out there yet, so we can't go to it. But we can upgrade that. And then we have Astronaut Complexes, which is where we hire and fire our astronauts. Right now, we've got 4 astronauts. We got Jebediah, Bill, Bob, and Valentina. Those are the ones that have always kind of been in the game. We've got additional ones over here that we can add. Everybody has a rating for courage and stupidity. It didn't used to affect anything. I don't know if it does anymore or not. It looks like it may affect things. It may not. Certainly, their career field does. It looks like engineers can repair things. Scientists can do science outside of outside of Kerbin, the space center. Pilots, of course, can fly. Blah blah blah. So that's those. Then we have mission control, which is where we pick all of our missions and we go up into space and things like that. And since we're just starting out, the first two things we're going to do, we can only take a max of 2 to start with, is we're going to gather scientific data from Kerbin. And it says we have to gather, recover or transmit science experiment data from Kerbin to achieve this goal. And it's going to give us some money and it's going to give us some science. So we're going to take that one. And we're also going to launch our first vessel. And that's going to give us our 2 sciences, because we can do those in combination with one another. So now we have our active ones, our available ones, and this will be the ones that we've finished. So we're kind of done in here. Then we have 2 other buildings. We have the space plane hangar, where we can build space planes, and where we can build all kinds of other cool kind of car geary stuff and what have you. And we'll get into all of this when we go over to the VAB. But we make our space planes and stuff in here. And then the last building we have is our vertical assembly building, which everybody who's into rocketry kind of is familiar with. And that is where we build our rockets. So this is where we're going to start out. Now we can look and see, we can keep track of what our contract goals are. We have to gather scientific data from Kerbin, and we have to launch our first vessel. So we got to build a vessel that we can launch. So over here along the side is all of our parts. Let's get rid of that. So we have pods, which is our capsules. We have fuel tanks. Right now we don't have any because we haven't done any research. We have engines, and we've got, right now the only thing we got is a solid rocket booster, the Flea. Command and control, we don't have any. Structural, we don't have any. Robotics, coupling, payload, aerodynamics, we got little basic fins that we could put on it for stability, but we don't really need them right now. And to keep in mind, everything that we use costs money, so we're kind of trying to keep our budget as low as possible. Ground, which is wheels and stuff, thermals, electrical, communications, science. We have our mystery goo containers, which is the only science really that we can collect right now. We're going to take some of them with us. Cargo, we have stuff that we can take now. These used to be just part of the Kerbal. I guess they've changed it now. You can actually take them or not take them. Maybe you can take extras, I guess. I don't know. And then utility, which is our parachute. But you notice these are all grayed out for the most part, with the exception of our capsules. And that is because we need our capsules. Now we can do the onion reentry module, or we can do a regular capsule. I'm going to do a regular capsule. And then, since the only engine we have is this Flea, we're going to stick the Flea on the bottom. See the little black and green dots? Those are your connection points. So there it is. So there's our thing. But if we just launch this right now, it would go up and it would crash back down. Nothing's going to stop us from killing ourselves. So we're going to put a parachute on the top of this. And there we go. We got our basic spacecraft. But we want to take some science readings. So we're going to go to science. And we're going to take our mystery goo. And we're going to down here. This is our symmetry button. And we're going to put actually 2 of them on here. I'm going to put one on either side, right there. I think I should be able to reach from the capsule to those and get my data. That'll get us some data up in the air and things like that. Actually, we don't even really need to reach them because we can reach them from outside. So there it is. There is our first rocket. Woohoo! So what do we do with it? Well, we go up here and we're going to launch it. So we're going to go to the launch pad. Takes a minute to to bring that in. Now, one of the first things we're going to do, always check, double check, triple check your staging, because what can happen is you can end up with a situation like this where your rocket and your parachute are both in the same staging. So if we hit spacebar, they would both activate at the same time. Well, we don't want that. We want to have our rocket take us up, and then we want to activate our parachute when we get up there, right? So there we go. So let's zoom in here a little bit, take a look at our capsule. Now, like I say, we got a pretty basic rocket launch pad here. But there are some things that we can start to do. Because remember, we have to do two things. We have to gather scientific data from Kerbin, and we have to launch our first vessel. So, let's right-click on our capsule. And if we go over here, you see that we can take a crew report. So we're going to do a crew report. And it says, you record the crew's assessment of the situation. Not much, right? But we're going to keep that. Okay? We're also going to activate one of our mystery goo containers, because we're going to take mystery goo from the ground here. And it says the goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now. It's just kind of sitting there. That's okay. Keep the experiment. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to Jebediah Kerbin. He's our first hero astronaut in our brand new space program. And we're going to have him go EVA. And hopefully he does not fall off. He just hangs on the side there. Now, if we hit the space bar, he would let go. He would drop on the ground. But we don't want him to do that. We want him to do a couple of things. First, we want him to take over here, and we're going to right-click on this goo container, and we're going to collect the data. And we're going to keep it. So we're going to put it basically in our crewman. We're also going to right-click on the capsule, and we're going to take the data from our crew report that we did, and we're going to take that data. And then we're going to right-click on Jebediah himself, and since he's outside, we are going to take an EVA report, and we're going to keep that as well. And then I don't think he's close enough to the ground that we cannot take. No, we can't take a sample from the ground. Okay, so we've got everything we can take for right now. So we're going to right click on our capsule again, and we're going to store those experiments, all three of them, in the capsule. Right? And it's going to take them from us and put them in the capsule. And then we're going to get back in. So B for board. And we have now done pretty much everything that we can do science-wise sitting right here for right now. So we're going to go ahead and take off. Now, because this is a solid rocket booster, we don't need the throttle, but we're going to throttle it all the way up. That's the left shift key. The left control key brings the throttle down. The other thing we're going to do is we are going to turn on our SAS, that's our stability, so that we don't go all wonky and go all over the place. That's the T key. And then we're going to launch. And that is the space bar. And up we go. So we've achieved one of the goals, which is launch our first vessel. And we're just going to let it go up. And now it is out of fuel, but it's going to continue to go up because of momentum. And once it gets to the top of our trajectory here, we're going to open up our goo again, and we're going to take a gander at our goo, and we're going to take another crew report. And if we're quick enough, no, we're not going. We're falling too fast. We're not going to try and do it. But we did take a crew report. Sure looks inviting. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep the goo. And we're going to pop our parachute. And then once our parachute opens up enough that we're slowed down, we're going to take the the chance to EVA above the ground up here. Now we can't do it when we're going this fast. The wind will just rip Jebediah right off the rocket, and we'd be screwed. But what we're going to try and do is, as soon as this parachute opens, we're going to try and get an EVA report out of it. And we didn't go very far. It ain't going to do it. We ain't going to have enough time to do it. Well, maybe we do. EVA. Can't EVA. Can't do the. Oh, we got to upgrade the. Okay, we got to upgrade the complex to be able to EVA out of in space or while we're moving. Not a problem. We'll get it the next time. So there we are. We are on the ground. Now what we're going to do is we're going to EVA again. This time, we're going to let go. And we're going to get down here on the ground. Because now we have gotten everything we can do. We don't need to take off in the rocket again. So there's Jebediah. He's all happy. But now what we can do is we should be able to take. Can we not? Huh. Okay. I guess not until we. Maybe because we have not upgraded our thing. I thought we could take a ground sample, but it doesn't look like we can. So we're done everything we can. We're going to go ahead and recover the vessel. But because we're outside of the spaceship, the vessel that we're recovering is actually just Jebediah. So we get the science that he's carrying around and his jetpack and stuff back. But if we go over here to our tracking station, we can look and see that the capsule is still there, right? And we can click on the capsule. Where is it? Okay, so oh, there it is. All right, we'll double click on it here. That should take us back to the capsule itself, and then we can recover it. So we can recover the vessel. Like I said, it's been a little while since I played this game. So now we get all the science that we gathered and stored in the vessel, right? And then we get all the parts back or what have you. So we get a little bit of money back from them. And no crew, of course, because we didn't send up any crew. So now we have a bit of money and we have a bit of science. And we can go in and we can spend some of these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some spending. And we're going to right click and we're going to upgrade max contracts to 7. Tracking station upgrade required for flight planning. That's okay. We're going to upgrade that puppy. Now we can't upgrade this because it's 50 grand. And that's a lot to upgrade. That's a lot to upgrade. So we've done pretty much all the upgrading we can do for right now. But now we can go in here and we can do some R&D. So we have 33.2 points to spend. So basic rocketry is going to give us another solid rocket booster, which is much stronger because it's bigger. And that's going to help us with our next mission. And that costs us 5, so we're going to take that. And we're going to go over here to engineering. And this is going to give us something even more important, which is going to be a thermometer so we can take science readings. And it's going to give us some antennas so we can set it back, and a decoupler. So we're going to take that. That's going to leave us 23. Now, the next level is 15, 18, 20. We could take this, which is going to give us some more engine parts. We could take this, which is going to give us nose, cone, and wings. This decoupler would be nice, but we only have 23 to play with, and that's going to cost us 18, so we won't be able to get anything else. We can also do survivability, and survivability is going to give us a barometer, and it's going to give us some more parts, but the big thing that's going to give us is it's going to give us this barometer, which means more science, and science is the goal. That's what pays the bills for the research. So we're going to take the science, we're going to take the survivability, and that's it. That's all we can research. Now, next time around, we could take some more stuff for science, but that's going to give us our science. There we go. So now, let's go back over here to Mission Control. Let's look at our archives. So we completed both of these, and we got the money for them, and we got the science for them, and what have you. We don't have any active missions, but now we can take a couple of other missions. And what we're going to do is we're going to take Escape the Atmosphere, and now the thing you have to watch out for with a lot of these other ones is they have specific requirements. Like conduct a focused observation at Kerbal. You have to do it in a specific location. And they'll tell you where it is, and it has to be at certain distances and certain heights and certain speeds. Some of these can be nigh on impossible. Like we gotta test the Mark 16 parachute into flight above Kerbin. It has to go up between an altitude of 2,000 and 9,000 feet, but it also has to be traveling at a speed of 60 meters per second to 190 meters per second. So if we miss both of these windows, then this fails. So, it becomes an issue. We're going to try it. We're going to add it to our list. We may hit those marks. We'll see. I know we're going to escape the atmosphere, so we're going to give that one a shot. And we're going to test the hammer, because that's the new one we've got. That's going to take us out of the atmosphere. So I know we're going to get that one. All right? So we're going to take those three. Now, we don't have the decouplers yet. We didn't do the science, so we can't do that. We can't orbit Kerbin. We're not close to orbiting Kerbin yet. We're going to need the decouplers for that. But that's going to give us 3 more missions that we can try and accomplish. So let's go on back over to our VAB. And we're going to change our rocket around a little bit. Of course, we're going to start with our command pod, like we had before. We're going to put a parachute on it because we need our Mark 16 parachute just anyway. Plus the fact that now we have a mission to test it. We're going to go to science, and now you see we've got some other stuff that we can do. We're going to go ahead and put the mystery goo on there again. We're going to throw 2 of them on there because maybe we can get some more science out of that. Maybe we can't. I don't know. We'll find out. Then we're going to put in a thermometer. Come on. There it is. We're going to put a thermometer on this puppy. And we're going to put a barometer on this puppy. And we can take readings from those and reuse them. The goo canisters, you cannot reuse the goo canisters. All right, so once they're done, they're done. Now, if we go over here to engines, we now have some fuel tanks, and we have the hammer booster and the flea booster. Well, we got to test this. This is one of the things we're supposed to be testing, right? And we're supposed to go into outer space. So we're going to give that a shot. All right. Radio mount drogue chute. That's enough to slow us down. And then that will catch us. So I don't think we need them on here yet. I think we're okay. Later on, we have to worry about heat shields, but we don't have decouplers yet. Well, yes, we do have the decoupler. All right, let's do something here. Let's do a little something here. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to put in a heat shield. Not that we probably need it, because we're not going that far, but we're going to put in a heat shield, and we're going to put in a decoupler, and then we're going to put on our engine. That way, when we come back down, we can get rid of our engine, and that we know that the parachute will hold just the capsule, and we're good to go. But now, this is what I was talking about staging. See how the engine is with the parachute, and this is here. So we're going to add another stage. We're going to move our engine down here. So what's going to happen is we'll fire our engine, and then we can decouple when we get up as high as we want to go, and then we can pop our chute, and we'll be good to go. Now, if we go outside of space, we'll be able to do goo outside of space, which will be nice. So there is our craft. Let's go launch it. Now, we have not upgraded our launch pads, so we can only get so big on our rockets because they do have weight, and our launch pad will only hold so much. So we're back with Jebediah. So now we got some more science we can do. So we're going to have Jebediah EVA again. All right, and I don't know. Nope. Can't do it. But can we do an EVA report from here? Will it give us any science? No, it won't give us any science. That's fine. We'll keep the experiment. All right. Let's open this sucker up, see if this will give us any science. Oh, all right, so I have to be in the capsule to control these. Unless I'm a scientist. That's where the careers come in. All right, so observe the goo. That's going to give us 0.7 science. It's not a lot, but it's something. And we're going to take it. Right? And then we're going to take a temperature reading. And we're going to take a barometer reading. And we're going to keep them. And then we're going to have Jeb EVA. And while he's out here, we're going to have him collect the data. From that, we're going to have him collect the data from that. Collect the data from that. And then we're going to have him store the data back in the capsule, and then we're going to have them go back in. Now we're all set. We're ready to go. We can take off again. We'll turn our SAS on, throttle to max. Not that it matters, because again, this is a solid rocket booster. You can't control the speed, but here we go. Doesn't do any good. We don't get any science from it, so we'll reset that. We're generally trying to go straight up as best as possible. We want to get into the atmosphere. All right, we are out of fuel, so we can now dump that. And hopefully our momentum will carry us all the way out into space. Let's see if we can do a crew report here. Yes, we can. So we're going to keep that experiment. We're going to log a temperature. We're going to log a pressure. And we're still going up, so we're going to wait. And once we hit outer space, we're going to get out, do an EVA, store the data, take new data, hopefully before we start falling back down in the clouds. So we're going to, when we hit about between 5 and 10 is when we're going to get out and get our EVA, and then we'll take our new data. We got to hit 72,000, I think it is considered space in this game. Don't look like we're going to make it. Kerbal off Kerbin service, Astronaut Complex upgrade required. Alright, well, I guess we're not going to get it this time. We didn't quite make it all the way there. Alright. So that's rocket science for you guys. We didn't make it. But that's okay. We got some science. We'll launch again. Next time we will make it into space, because we'll add a second booster. That will put us into space. Well, observe the goo up here. Might as well while we're at it. Get our science. So, Astronaut Complex upgrade required. Alright, so we got to upgrade the Astronaut Complex. And I believe, yeah, we can time warp, make this a little faster. Is the period and the comma keys. You don't want to go too fast because it can kill you. We're going to go ahead and we'll pop the chute. It's not going to open because we're not low enough yet, but that'll get us going. Now the cool thing is we are no longer on the base, so when we get out we can store our stuff, and we can take some science readings where we're going, where we land, and that'll give us some more science. And every little bit of science is a little bit more science that we can use for research. And we can take a look and see. There's our shadow. So we're almost on the ground. I don't want to speed it up because I don't want to crash, blow things up. There we are. Now we should be able to EVA. Yes, we can. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the data that we can take, take the data, and then we're going to store all the data, right? All items stored. Now we can turn around and we can log another temperature. Oh, we got to get back in to do it though. All right, B for board, log the temperature, log the barometric pressure, all right, And then we will take a crew report. Wait a minute. We can only take the one crew report? Maybe we can... Oh, because we did not take the crew report. So we have to get all the stuff out. And then we have to store the stuff. And then we should be able to take a crew report. Yeah, now we can take a crew report. Now we got all our crew reports. Now we can do one more thing since we're here. We can get it back out again. We'll take an EVA report. We will take... Are we close enough? No, we're not close enough. So we can go out here. Now, advisor move how deploy shoot. Is it not? Oh, I guess because I have not upgraded yet, I can't plant a flag. All right, we can't plant a flag yet either, guys. Oh, that sucks. All right, but we can get back in. Come on, get up, Jeb. Board. Now we'll go ahead and recover the data. We get a bunch more science. Look at all that science we got. 63. We get some of our money back. He's ready for the next assignment. So we have to upgrade. Did it say the Astronaut Complex? No, that's fully upgraded. No. Research and Development, Astronaut Complex, Administrative Building. Fully upgraded. Ah, okay. So this is what's going to allow me to perform EVAs and place flags. There's what we needed earlier. All right. So good to go. Now we can do our EVAs and stuff. Now we've got our money. I think we're going to upgrade the pad next because we're going to want to be able to launch bigger rockets. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade the pad. Now let's take our science over here and spend our science. Now, we have 60 that we can spend. This is 45. That's going to give us some more things that we can do stuff with. But I'm thinking I want the radial decouplers. So that's 18. That's another 20. We got 60. So 45. We could get both of these. What's it give us? It gives us the antenna, radiator panel, experiment storage unit, science junior. Don't remember what the Science Junior does for us. Conduct material studies, collect data, rerunnable, resettable. So it looks like it does science. So maybe we want that. We also, like I say, we want the radial decoupler. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the radial decoupler, and we're going to take the basic science. That's going to give us that, right? Because we always want science. So there it is, guys. And it's basically you just keep progressing. So now we could go in here. Let's go. Let's do one more. Let's go to space. Let's make it to space. Let's do what we got to do. Escape the atmosphere. Test the RT hammer on a suborbital trajectory over Kerbin. So we got to get this on a suborbital trajectory. We got to get it up into space. So let's do this. Let us double our money. Right? We need to get the thumper up into space. So let us do another decoupler. Right? And let us do another hammer. Right? Because we need to get the hammer into space. So now we've got two of them. Right? One of them should get us most of the way there. One of them should get us the rest of the way there. Let's, for stability purposes, let's just throw some basic fins on here. Just to get us where we got to go. Maybe we'll do a second set. Right? So now we'll check our staging. So that's going to fire, then our coupler, then our engine, then our coupler, then our parachute. Now that ought to get us into space. And then we should be able to take some science from up in space. What else do we got that we can do? Do we want to try and add the weight? I think we're going to wait on that. We're going to add it next time. We'll fire it up there next time. I don't want the added weight right now. Do I? How much does that weigh? 0.2 tons. You know what? Let's give her a shot. Shall we try it? All right, so rocket, decoupler, parachute. And then there is our Science Junior with all our science inside. Look, we've even got radiation in there. All right, let's give her a shot. Right? Let's give her a shot. Let's see if we can't launch this puppy. We just need to break the barrier of space. And we can't drop this second booster off until we hit space. So we got to fire this one, release, fire this one, but wait till we get into space to drop this one. Otherwise, we don't get credit for our achievement. So here we go. Oop, forgot to turn on SAS. That's going to help to keep us going straight. Now, if we were trying to get orbit, we would turn a little bit, but we're not trying to get into orbit. We're just trying to get into space. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So let's see if we can get up there. So we're going to go like a bat out of hell as best we can. And of course, because we're going so fast, we're heating up the atmosphere and everything. We got to be real careful that we don't blow up, which is where we're getting close to. But luckily, we're cooling off because we're into outer space almost. I forgot to add that now you got heat issues that things can blow up. We don't want things to blow up. So we got to get all the way into space first. Come on, baby, go. Like I say, I think we need 72. So we escaped the atmosphere. We did our suborbital. We're not going to dump this until we get as high as we can go, which we may not be able to do. But we are in space, so let's do this. Let's take our goo. Let's take our temperature. Let's take our pressure. Let's take a crew report. We may make 210. We may make our 210. Gonna be tough, but we may make our 210. Let's take a look at the map. We may make our 210. It's gonna be pretty close, guys. Oh, and let us conduct a material study also. So we've got all the science. We didn't do a material study on the pad. We should have done a material study on the pad. We'll remember to do that next time, hopefully. I'm waiting for us to kind of slow down before we try to do the EVA, because I don't want to fly off of this puppy. See, and this is where these missions will get you, because if you miss any part of it, you don't get it. So we may not make our altitude. I'm hoping we do. It's looking close, but I don't think we're going to make our altitude this time around. Maybe the added weight on the Science Junior is what kind of held us back, but we'll see. Let's give the EVA thing a shot. Hopefully we don't go flying off. Let's collect an EVA report. And then let's collect all of our data. Right? And then I think that's everything we can get. So we'll get back in. Oh, we're coming down. We didn't make it. We didn't make the 210. But we did make it into space. So we get that goal. We can attempt this one again. It's just a matter of adding more rockets. Just add more boosters. Now, if we were a scientist, we could reset this and we could take new data. But we are not, so we can't. But we're going to speed this up some. Now, outside of the atmosphere, you can really speed things up. But you want to be careful inside the atmosphere. You can only go four times inside the atmosphere. You can go up to, I think, 1,000 outside the atmosphere because you're traveling from planet to planet. But you got to really kind of be careful. But let's go ahead and dump our engine. We don't need it now. We did not make our goal, so there's no sense carrying around the extra weight. We did get more science, though. That is an important part of it. We got more science. Let's slow it down while we're burning through the atmosphere. Luckily, we have a heat shield. We shouldn't lose anything. As soon as we're through the burn, we can worry about deploying our parachute. As soon as it turns from red to green to whatever, we don't have to worry about our parachute ripping off. Observe our mystery goo just for the heck of it. Gives us 1.6. Every little bit of science helps. That was our engine probably detonating on the ground because it fell faster than we did. Oh, we still had our symmetry turned on. So apparently we had two of those. That's cool, because now we can log a second one here. We're almost down. You can get science on locations more than once, but it is in decreasing amounts to the point where eventually you won't get any more science from a location. There we go. Turn our SAS on, that way we stop spinning. Boink. Alright, so crew report. We don't get anything for it. Cancel. We don't want to overwrite. We'll go out EVA. Log temperature. Oh. Take the data. Collect the data. Take the data. Take the data. Go back in. Log the temperature. All right, that's not going to give us anything else. Log the pressure. That's not going to give us anything else. We've got everything we can get out of that. Let's see. Oh, we can't reset that because we're not a scientist. But we should be able to now. Let go. Come on, get up. Kerbals are made of rubber, apparently. Now we should be able to take... We still can't take a ground sample. Why not? I don't know, but we can plant a flag. Yay! There's our flag. Bob won. We got high. There we go. So now, I don't think we can get back on the ship from here. Let's see if we can get up with the RCS thrusters. No, I didn't think so. We need a ladder. Oh well. So we'll go ahead and we'll switch to that. We'll recover the vessel. And then we'll go back out and we'll recover Jebediah. Nope, that was Jebediah. So now we got to go to the tracking station, go back to our spacecraft. Recover our spacecraft. Get all our science goodness from it. Right, so now we got 104 more science. And we got some more money. Now, that should give us... We still got to take this sucker all the way into orbit, but we've completed those. So there we go, guys. That's the basics. Now, that did not blow up anything. One of the fun things with KSP is you get to blow shit up. And that is almost as much fun as anything else, is blowing your stuff up. I want to see something. Kerbals can perform EVAs. If we do the upgrade, it doesn't tell me what the upgrade's going to give me, though, does it? Unlimited active Kerbals is the only thing that's going to give me. All right. Surface. Okay, so I have to upgrade research and development to get surface samples. I don't have that kind of money yet. That's 451,000. That's why I can't do surface samples. In the old game with the research, you could get the research. Everything was fully upgraded. You could automatically get it. That's why I'm not being able to do it. All right. So there is why my issues are what they are. Let's go in here and look at something real quick. So, fundraising campaign, unpaid science, what's this? We can likely raise some money by exploiting the attention we get in new successful ventures. Takes 5% of our reputation, gains a bunch of funds for each unit of representation. So we could get some more money if we needed it. Yields 1 science for each reputation. Yields 1 science for each funds. Yields science for funds. 5% funds income yields 1 reputation. We could get a bailout grant, which we don't need. So that takes reputation. That takes money to set it up. Leadership initiative. There we go. So that is the game in a nutshell. Like I said, I haven't played it in like forever and a day. I used to have fun playing it. I actually learned a lot about orbital mechanics and stuff when you start getting out into space and things like that. It's really kind of fun. So I just thought I'd play around with it a little bit. We'll see where it goes. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.